Coach Frye, time for NCAA Indoor Championships in College Station. You've got 2 men, 2 individual women, and then a women's relay. Let's start by talking about the women's side. Rugi in the long jump, Natasha in the triple jump, and the women's 4x4. You've got high hopes for all of them and think that all 3 of them could come away with All-American finishes, and if the chips fall right, national championships this weekend.
Boy, you're optimistic in those questions there. I mean, always the hope is that we rise above. I mean, each one of them got potential to do something special, but you're being practical and realistic. You got to look at where we are. Rugi is 6 weeks into being in the U.S., and she's 12th going into the meet. She's jumped 20 feet 11. It'll take probably 21 feet 3 to make it into the finals, but 21.5 will make you top 5. And those are kind of goals that we're talking about team-wise. Getting top 5, yes. Is it practical? Yes, to do that. Natasha last year was 3rd in the country. Everybody and every coach in the country knows if Tasha hits the board, she jumps far as anybody in the U.S. Maybe the Georgia girl jumps farther, but the rest, if Tasha is on, it has coaches ooh and ah worrying about is she going to make it. Last year she was on at the Nationals, and it's a thing wherein we don't want to take the aggression away from her to just not foul. Then you can't jump far. Well, she's going to jump far, but we just got to get it on. And it's her senior year. I wouldn't bet against her being on at the national championship. So another top 5 finish. 2 top 5s, that's 8 points. And you're talking about being in the top 25, and now you need 2 more points to get you in the top 20. Mile relay.
There you go. I know you got big hopes for the mile relay, and also for your 2 on the men's side, TT in the 200 and Josh in the shot put. What have you seen out of those guys in the last week or so that makes you think that they're ready to peak and score big for you at nationals?
I think first let's talk about the mile relay. Mile relay, our goals are to win a national championship outdoors, and it has always been that. We got a little banged up in New York, and so we have 2 athletes, Aaliyah Abrams and Haith, both are right now. They're hour by hour to determine whether they're going to be able to line up Saturday. If they can line up, we could be in the top 4. If they can't line up, we got 2 athletes that's got to carry it. We got 2 that are really frightened about being in a national championship. So it'll be a coaching move to determine what's important. Running at the national championship with the 4 that qualified and not being able to run outdoors and taking that kind of chance. So, hey, we're going to lean, I can tell you now, I'm going to lean toward the SEC championship here at home and the National Outdoor Championship so that our women will have the kind of finish that we expect them to have as a program this year. On the men's side, Josh was fantastic. I think it's one of the greatest stories untold in the country. I mean, a high school kid that was a football player that threw 59 feet as a junior and 182 feet with the discus. That there were a lot of 66-footers. That year was 62, 66, 60 around. And Coach Sargent brought in the guy that threw 59 for a visit. And I was concerned that we weren't bringing in the 66s and why we didn't get to see. But he said this guy here is a quarterback on a state qualifying football team. He's a great athlete. And he's a great citizen, he's a great person, he's a great student. He gave me all the greats. And so we decided to go for the great, all the greats, the things that are quality in a human and special. So the freshman year we redshirted him, and he made it to the junior national meet. And I think he threw about as far as he threw at the high school shot that year. And barely missed making the World Juniors. I think he finished 4th. They were taking top 2. The championship was going to be in Oregon. He and Tasha were 2 that qualified for that meet. We walked the Oregon trails and we put our names on the Prefontaine walls to be back here to become champions. And so I think but he got a couple injuries along the way. He's carrying one right now. And I still the same thing. I was teasing him this morning about not being in the weight room. Well, if he strains in the weight room, then it's something we don't want to happen. But he can hit one. I mean, adrenaline and the desire to be great, you can't contain that. And so I never count a guy who's an athlete enough to lead a team to a state championship in football or in other sports into just that. You don't need but one. That adrenaline, and that's what happened in the conference meet. I mean, it was no way he's dragging one leg all week. I don't think he's going to even compete at a conference meet. But when it got down to it, he was out of it. He was 11, and it was his last throw. He goes from 11 to 7 and makes the finals. So I don't count him out because he knows how to go 4th and 1. He knows how to get it in the end zone. And so it's something about a team sports guy in an individual sport. When people are dependent on them, they rise up. The thing about people who've never played team sports that play an individual sport like track, I worry a little bit because they become selfish. They become about themselves, and that sometimes can cause you from not being as great as you can be. Natasha's a great volleyball player. Team depended on her. That's the kind of athlete that I like that's going to the championship. A lot of our kids on our track team were not team sports people. And we have to try to motivate that by doing relay stuff. But basically, if persons that are not team people, they end up reaching their goal potential. They get a mark of, let's say, 40 feet, and it's the best they've ever done. That becomes satisfied. But a team player doesn't do that. Now, TT has one bad meet the whole year. SEC championship. He goes in 7th in the country and doesn't make the finals. And it took 20.98 to make the finals. He ran 21.17. And I think it's a matter now just confidence getting back because everybody moved and he ends up going to 10th in the country. So now it's a battle to make the finals. But he's healthy. And it's just confidence because he is a top 5 guy. And so we got to spend a lot of time walking and talking and pumping him up and getting him to understand the values of being an All-American. He's from South Africa, and one of his motivations is to be 2044 so he can make the World Championships. So indoors, outdoors, that's a World Championship. So we have a different psyche to get him prepared rather than 4th and 1 because he hadn't played U.S. football.
Sure.
He's not a team guy. He is definitely a world guy. He wants to go to the World Championship. And every opportunity he runs is an opportunity for him to hit that time. So that's our psyche to get him ready to contribute to the University of South Carolina. And he's gonna do everything possible for him to run 2040. And I'm all with that because the University of South Carolina benefits when he runs 2040. So we're a big number out there is 2040. 2040 will be second at the NCAA Championship this week, and 2060 will be 5th.
Should be a lot of fun. Josh and TT on the men's side, the relay, Natasha and Arugi on the women's side. Coach, best of luck. We'll talk to you next week, hopefully
We
after
are
big
so
meet.
excited, and thank you. And this is a good number for us to take, having 2 guys and 6 women to the NCAA Championship is a respectable number of athletes at this meet.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.